Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into a company report that's like finding out what happens after the credits roll in your favorite movie. There might be some surprises. We're going to dissect Centuri Holdings' latest filing, revealing what really happened at their annual meeting. Were there any shareholder surprises? Let's find out. This report is called a Form 8K, and it is basically a snapshot of major events that a public company like Centuri Holdings needs to tell the government, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and therefore its investors. The date on this report is April 16, 2025. The main point of this filing is to report the results of Centuri Holdings' annual meeting of stockholders. This is where shareholders get to vote on important company matters like electing directors and executive compensation. Basically, the company held its yearly meeting where shareholders got to vote on several key issues. Almost 87.5 million shares were represented, which is a good sign of shareholder participation. First up was the election of directors. Stockholders voted on who would sit on the company's board. All the listed nominees like Christian Brown, Julie Dill, and others were elected. Most of the votes were for these nominees, but there were some votes withheld, meaning some shareholders didn't support those candidates. For example, Christian Brown got roughly 80.3 million votes for him, but 5.7 million votes were withheld. These individuals will now serve as directors until the next annual meeting, or until their replacements are chosen. This means they will be helping to guide and oversee the company's direction. Next, the shareholders voted on the company's executive compensation, which is how much the top executives get paid. This vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to follow it, but it gives them an idea of what shareholders think about their pay packages. The vote passed with about 85.8 million votes for approving the compensation, compared to just about 136,000 votes against. That's a pretty strong endorsement of the company's pay practices, at least according to the voters. Then there was a vote on how often shareholders should get to vote on executive compensation. They could choose every year, every 2 years, or every 3 years. Again, it's an advisory vote. The shareholders overwhelmingly chose to have this vote every year, with 85.9 million votes for 1 year. This shows that shareholders want to have a regular say in how the executives are compensated. Finally, shareholders ratified, which means approved, the selection of PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP as the company's independent accounting firm. These are the folks who check the company's financial statements to make sure everything looks good. This passed easily with about 87.3 million votes for. That means shareholders are comfortable with the company's choice of auditors. The report was signed by Gregory Thesenstark, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Centuri Holdings. This makes the report legally official. Now let's take a look at what this all means. Centuri Holdings seems to have had a pretty smooth annual meeting. All the director nominees were elected and the executive compensation was approved. The shareholders also want to have a say on pay every year. There weren't any major surprises or controversies that would cause concern, and it's all standard procedure for a public company. One thing to watch, though, is how the company responds to the shareholder votes, especially on executive compensation. Even though the vote is advisory, it's a good idea for companies to listen to what their shareholders are saying. From this report, Centuri looks stable and aligned with its shareholders, at least for now. But as always, keep an eye on future filings and news to see how the company performs over time. Thanks for tuning in to Corporate Decoder. If you like this breakdown, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more insights, and let us know in the comments what company filing you'd like us to decode next.